So I originally was going to do something else, but let's look at chapters 6 and 7 in your lessons. So you'll open your project, and I was going to do something completely different. Um, so I'll find my lesson folder. We're going to start with uh, chapter 6. So anytime you go to your lessons, and so this is just an aside. We'll do this probably often. This is an old version of Adobe Premiere that was creating these folders, these files. So what this does is it has the newer version of it. So hits OK. And as you can see, what happens now? I got to put my glasses on. What happens is we have this disconnected media, and what happens is originally the project was used to seeing the assets, the video files and audio files in a specific place. So you have to tell the project where these files actually are. And what is nice is that if all those files are in the same area, if you have all these linked, then it'll find the specific files in that particular area. So as you know, hopefully your assets folder is in the same place as your lessons. So what it'll do is it highlights the first one. It's kind of like, where is this file? So you hit locate. And what it'll do is sometimes you have to give a little push. So I need to kind of designate it because I've got a million different lessons on here. This is where it gets frustrating. It just gets jumpy. Here we go. So then I'll go to my video assets and video audio files, and then you can just hit search, and there it'll find it. So in a hard drive, when I have a 2 terabyte hard drive, you don't want to search the whole hard drive. So you hit OK. And now what it'll do is it'll find all those files and link them up for you. As you can see, we've got all of our different folders. So your sequences here. You also have this theft unexpected sequence here. And we will move from here. All right. So I don't want to go too much into markers, but they are really, really important, because what will happen is I sometimes will like a particular part of a clip. And so what you can do is you can mark that point in the clip. And so if you want to sync it with another place and another clip, so when you're looking for continuity editing, you want to try to match them as best as possible. And what markers will do will help you match things a little bit closer together. So essentially what markers will do is it's very easy to do. So let's open the cities views sequence. I'm doing this just completely without glasses, and it's a big mistake. Open the city views sequence. So that's the bin. Now I need the city views sequence. So the sequences are probably down here. Yeah. City view sequence, and there it is. All right. set the time head playhead to about 112. This is where I need my glasses. So about 1 minute 12 seconds in, I know where it is right about there. So I'm going to use my arrow key to do it exactly. And then I'll hit my marker. So what I like to do is usually hit the M key for marker. You can also you can also go up to here and hit add marker, but it's so much easier using the M key. And so what you can also do is you can double click this marker. So this one is this attractive green. You can double click that and you can name the marker. So you can call it whatever you want. You can call this dull marker. And you can change the colors of this. And you can also change the duration. Okay. So you hit 400. And now it's a 4-second marker. Okay, 400 is 4 seconds. All right, so now this marker has a duration in the timeline. Not really that exciting. And so what I like to do is, I mean, that's just like very simple with markers. What I like to do is sometimes if I want, so if you consider how you might be editing to the beat of a song. And so you want a specific action to occur at a beat of a song. So maybe there's something that's really, really cool that goes on here, and you'll hit your M key, and then you bring your music and the beat of that music, and we'll work with that later, but you can see the beats in the music, and that way you can line your clip up to match. Okay. I don't want to do sync and lock track. I don't want to do track lock or sync lock. Anyway, so if you decide that you, so I got theft unexpected here. If you decide that you really, really like the music, or if you like the audio track or something like that, and you don't want to mess with it at all. So if I want to delete a clip here, it deletes it from 2 tracks, okay, your audio and your video. So, but what you can also do, so say if you want to just work with your video and leave your audio the same, you can lock the track here, okay? And so then what happens if you delete something, it just deletes that particular video clip. So you don't have to unsync it. All right. So what you can also do, so say if you don't like this particular clip in here, and you want to keep the audio, you want to keep the dialogue, but you want to B-roll something else. So say you like this particular clip.
Is this seat taken?
So you might like this particular clip, but you don't like this particular video. So what you can do is you can unlink the selection. So if you hit link selection, and then you can walk out of it, and now you can treat these as individual clips. And so if you want to delete that, you can delete it. But just know that if you're moving any of your video, that you're just moving the video and not the audio, okay? and you can easily get some video and audio out of sync this way. So just be careful about how you use that particular element. So obviously, if you want to sync them back up, you hit it again. So you have to hit them both, link them. So if you want to, it basically keeps all those elements together as one particular clip, and that's good. And then the razor blade tool. So a lot of people like their razor blade tool. So this is just very, very simple. I use razor blade tool when I am working with two different tracks of video. And so what I'll do is, so I'll have two different camera angles. And of course, this lesson doesn't show it, but I'll have two different camera angles, and I'll sync them up first. So I'll use the markers to sync them up. So you use a clipboard or whatever to sync them up. So you hit, wherever you see the clipboard start, you hit M there, and you move them together, sync them together. And then what I'll do is I might have, say, my master shot here and my B-roll down here. And so I'll need to pull away some of my master. I mean, you can have the opposite way. So if that's the case, then what I want to do is I want to cut up my master so that my B-roll down here will show. And so that's why I use the master. The razor blade. So notice that it basically creates little cuts, and they're separate clips, and you can pull those out. Okay, just keep in mind it's also going to clip your audio. So if you want to lock those, you can take that little bit out, lock it, and just clip that one in there. That's actually kind of stupid. So obviously I can pull this back in, or you can hit undo. So sometimes what will happen is you might have some gaps in your timeline. And this is really important because I notice that when a lot of students do extensive drag and drop editing, they will find, so what I'll do is I'm going to create, so I got to take my, this off, my snapping off. So you might have, I'm going to move this over a frame, okay? And so if you're working with a lot of video, okay, so this is a 10-minute scene, you might not see that there is a black frame there, okay? So, and that's a big no-no in editing. So what you can do is you go to sequence, and you can go to the gap. So the next one in sequence, I don't know, is it there? I don't remember where I put it, honestly. Oh yeah, it is right there. So even if I put so sequence, go to gap, next in sequence, it takes it right there. And then you can go sequence, close gap. And what that does is it shifts everything over to the left. Okay, so notice that what I did was I turned this snapping off in order to move these. So notice what happens when I move this a little bit to the left. So notice I can do it frame by frame. So I'm going to expand my timeline. Okay, so notice that, like, this is a whole frame. Oops, I just moved mine. So if I want to move it one frame over, boop, 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 boop. Okay, and that is fine and everything. But what happens sometimes is you can jam, so this is with snapping off, is you can jam clips into one another. See that right there? And that might be helpful in certain situations. Now I really messed it up. So what snapping does is it basically like a magnet. And so as it gets really, really close, it snaps them together. See, it just goes boop. However, it doesn't allow me to do really, really slow frame by frame. So as it gets close, well, it's now making a liar out of me. But when we get into trimming, advanced trimming techniques, you turn snapping off. But for the most part, you want to keep snapping on when you're dealing with a lot of editing. So, so sometimes you'll have it off for really fine-tuning some of your editing, but sometimes you'll keep it on. So sometimes you want to nudge. So this allows you to nudge things by a few frames. So it allows you to move things. So I'm going to cut this up a little bit. So what you can do is, it's your command arrow. So hit command and your arrow and see how it nudges. Okay. And so it just moves it one frame. And then command shift arrow, it moves 5 frames. See that? So that's kind of helpful. Because you might be dealing with a whole bunch of clips and then maybe some other graphics up here, and you'll select all of those and you just want to nudge it over. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with that nudging function. Okay. Okay, so that is chapter 6.